Hey everybody, we're Stephen and Gina with Live Deeper 10X.
And in this episode, we are staying off the beaten path in Ireland. Stay with us as we show you a 7th century monastic abbey, a tree that eats coins, an Irish castle featured in a famous Hollywood movie, a little family garden spanning several generations, and an ancient wall constructed as a result of sibling rivalry. We just got another wonderful act of kindness today. So we are checking out a local monastery / abbey that's close to the place that we're house sitting. And we parked what we thought was in the right place, but as we were getting out to take pictures, this woman was walking her dog and she said, "There's a much better place for you to go. You want to go back up here, you'll get a much better view. You might want to take a look at that instead." So that's the cool thing about travel, is that there's lots of kindness in the world and there's lots of great people. So we're gonna go check out this other location. I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. Not too far from where we stayed in Ireland, we visited the Fore Abbey, a Christian monastery dating back to the 7th century. Founded by Saint Fichan, a Benedictine monk, he lived and grew a community of 300 French monks and 2,000 students. As we explored the Fore Abbey, we came across a tree with ribbons. These trees are known as rag trees or raggedy bushes, and modern visitors still perform the custom of tying rags or clodies to the branches. Their problems or ailments would disappear as the rag rotted away. Near the tree was the Tobernacogany Holy Well. It was a custom for pilgrims to hammer coins into the bark. This eventually led to the death of the tree. A new tree has now grown from a sapling at the well. Walking the ruins, you can feel the history of this monastic community. Today, the gates to Fore Abbey still stand on either side of town, and if you're not paying attention, you could even miss it. So this story feels something like a recent novel, but I'm sure not unique to our time. When you come upon the Jealous Wall, at first you think it's a Romanesque remain, but in reality, it was built to look like that. Nothing says jealousy more pervasively than what's behind me, which is called the Jealous Wall, which was erected by a brother who was angry at his other brother here in Ireland because he thought that his wife had had an affair with him. And so in an effort to kind of show his disdain, one of his brothers built a house close by and didn't like it, so he decided he was going to go ahead and build this ugly wall, which was supposed to look like an ancient ruin, to block out the visual of his brother's house. And so it's really interesting. Apparently it was a big deal back then that this fake wall was put up, and that it was kind of a folly here in Ireland that you would have this wall erected. The Jealous Wall still stands today and is said to be the largest purposely built ruin of its kind in Ireland. Stephen and I are suckers for botanic gardens. When we learned the history of Tallaght Castle and the extensive gardens, we had to go. The beauty of this garden established by the Pakenham legacy still carries on today with the current residents, Thomas and Valerie Pakenham, avid gardeners and botanists, who maintain the walled garden and over 600 varieties of trees from all over the world. Much of what we walked through felt like something from Alice in Wonderland. Small ponds with weeping willows, ducks, and little alcoves where we sat and ate lunch, taking in the fresh Irish air.
We are spending a couple of hours at a castle,
Tallaght.
and it's not one of the ancient castles like in the 12th century.
No, it's a family castle.
Yeah, it's a family castle. I think the original bearers of the land came to Ireland in the late 1600s. And then what do we know from there?
So the family, this actually is currently inhabited by the existing, I guess, family members who are still in residence. They have a husband, Thomas, and his wife, Valerie, who actually have invested a tremendous amount of money and energy into revitalizing the gardens here. They're both very avid gardeners, and here in Ireland, they're very well known. In fact, Thomas travels all over the world to places like China and Indonesia and Turkey and brings back unique species of trees and seedlings to plant here in his garden. And so the history is that the family had a plot of land, and the sons kept marrying very wealthy women over the years who brought a lot of money and title and prestige, and then they continued to build onto the house to make it more of a castle. And so what we see is a castle, but it's not a castle like they used to have with kings and queens. It's really more of a family castle.
The inside of the castle is only open once a year.
Yes, it's Heritage Week here.
Heritage Week. We got really lucky with our timing, and so we were able to to jump in. And how much were the tickets?
They were €16 a piece, and that gives you access to the house and to the gardens for the day. There are no shortages of castles in Ireland, and we were fortunate to be near several during our time here. We learned of Trim Castle in Bon Valley, conveniently located in the town of Trim. Did you see no drones allowed?
No, is that what it said?
It's one of the largest Norman medieval castles in Ireland. One of the great parts about us being where we are in Ireland is that there's lots of castles close by. This castle, Trim's Castle, or actually Trim Castle, is just 30 minutes from where we're staying. So we're gonna check it out. Trim Castle, built in 1172 by a powerful Norman lord, Hugh de Lacy, served as a fortress for many battles over the years from the 11th century to the 17th century. It changed over many times until the 20th century, when it was no longer occupied, and most recently was featured in the final scene in Braveheart as the location for the battle at King John's Castle. Thanks for spending time with us as we learned a small bit of history about Ireland. We hope you enjoyed our journey, and we invite you to click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. Finally, we invite you to take time to live deeper. What are you doing today to 10x your life? It's just the remains of a monastery. I don't really know. It's actually, I don't know what to say.
No, it's good.
I'm terrible at this.
I love it. That's perfect.
No, it was awful.
It was not. It was good.
Near the tree was the Tobernakagi.
Nice.
Tobernakagane. Kagani. Okay. Near the tree was the oh gosh.
What is it?
Near the tree was the Tobernakagani holy well. Near the tree was the Tobernakagani holy well. Okay. Near the tree was the Tobernakagani.
Come on.
Near the tree was the Tobernakagani. Okay. Can you say it?
Tobernakagani.
Tobernakagani. Okay. Trim Castle was built in 17... Nope. Okay, let's start that over again. Yeah, because you're going to sit here and judge me.
You dropped low.
You dropped.
Like there are no shortage of castles in Ireland.
Okay.
We went from one castle to another.
If you want to do this, you can do this, but I need you to stop. Okay?
I like what you're doing. No, I'm very impressed.
Yeah.